New England one.
Oh, never.
All right, friends. So we are into this series called Release. It's time to love life again. It's time to let go of those things that are holding us down, dragging us down, making our life miserable. We've given them permission to become part of our life or part of us. And it's time to release those and to enjoy life again as God has created it. So tonight I'll talk about releasing what I'm calling is the haters. Release the haters. And by haters, I'm thinking and talking about those times people have said something to you. Maybe you don't even know these people, but maybe you do. And it has stuck with you, and it wasn't a very positive thing to say.
It's going to hurt after 26.
And it's something that has stuck to you so much that it has allowed, it has transformed maybe your personality. Maybe you have a different view of yourself than you had because of what this person or people have said to you. It has actually changed who you are. It's time to let that go. It's time to wipe it off and to understand that you are God's beautiful creation. Can I hear an amen?
Yeah.
Right? You're God's beautiful creation. So, as we're going through this thing called life, I've kind of figured out there's two types of people in this world. Browns fans and Steelers fans. No. No.
Go Brown.
Thank you. Good friend. I have a friend tonight. That's great. Come on. You got to start somewhere. The first type of person, and identify as one of these two, would you? Something is said to maybe a group that you're in, or something kind of like really directive and maybe not even that nice, and you just bounce it right off of you. You can go on with life like it never happened. We'll call that the bounce off group, all right? And the second group of people is somebody could look at you the wrong way or say something that has nothing to do with you, and it'll go directly to your heart, and you will hold on that for at least 3 weeks before letting go of it. That's me right there, people. Who's the bounce off group? All right, that's like 4, maybe 5. Good. So everybody else is it goes right into your heart and soul. Are you with me on that? Mm-hmm. Right? So when I say release the haters, that's what we got to learn to do, is to release them and let it go. So Hebrews tells us very plainly, it's time to throw it off. Right? Hebrews 12, 1 and 2. It says, therefore, since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders. You get it, friends? Throw it off. Get rid of it. If it's hindering your life, it's time to release it. Throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles us, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the pioneer and perfecter of our faith. So when I'm saying release the haters, I know we've all got it on us, right? And we've allowed it to happen. It's time to let it go. All right. Now, I'm going to share a movie clip with you here real quick. It's an Indiana Jones marathon this weekend. Have you seen any of those? Okay. And I'm going to show you number 2, right? The Holy Grail.
No, that's right.
3, right? Number 3. So this scene here, and listen real closely to how this is a conversation between Indiana and his father up in the blip. So listen real carefully what the conversation is about, and you're gonna see what is it that Indiana struggled with when it came to his self-worth. All right, take a look at this.
Last time we had a quiet drink. I don't know shit. What are we talking about? We didn't talk. We never talked. Do I detect a rebuke? A regret. It's just the two of us, Dad. It was a lonely way to grow up. For you, too. If you'd been an ordinary average father like the other guys' dads, you'd have understood that.
Actually, I was a wonderful father.
Wonderful.
Did I ever tell you to eat up, go to bed, wash your ears, do your homework? No, I respected your privacy, and I taught you self-reliance.
What you taught me was that I was less important to you than people who've been dead for 500 years in another country. And I learned it so well that we've hardly spoken for 20 years.
You left just when you were becoming interesting. I'm here now. What do you want to talk about? I
there you go. All right, so did you hear it in that conversation? Indiana said, as you're growing up, who was more important than him? Did you pick up on that? Like your work, basically. These other people, these dead people that have been gone for 500 years. And so you can see that that affected, that, made him change his self-worth because of that. So where do you get your self-worth from? Some people get it from their job, from their kids, from their family. Some people get it from the money, the material possessions. Where do you get your self-worth from? So that's what we're going to explore this evening here. All right, guys, I need your help here. So I'm going to bring this guy over here. All right, let's see. I'm going to draw myself a person. This is not art class, so be gentle on me. He's got a nice, let's put him in the Browns jersey.
Yes, a short arm.
Perfect, pair of pants.
Self-worth.
And skinny little legs. All right, that looks like a skull, so let's get rid of that. Okay. Now, when your friends, would you go back with me, if you're not in high school, would you take yourself back to high school? Think about that crucial time of age and development in your life. What was it that people called you, people labeled you, people said, directed at you? We're going to fill this person up here.
I was short.
You were short.
Fat.
Fat.
Smart.
Okay?
Annoying.
I'm sorry?
Annoying.
Annoying.
Annoying. Okay. Keep going. We're going to fill this up. Yeah.
Bus button.
Fuss button.
What button?
Fuss.
Oh, a fuss
Button.
button?
Fussy.
Button?
Fuss button. Fuss button, yeah.
That's an old term.
Right, a fuss button.
Right at the belly button.
Keep going. Yeah.
Selfish.
Oh, yeah, selfish. Okay. Keep going.
Nerdy.
Nerdy.
Too quiet.
Too quiet.
Too loud.
Too loud. Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Like they called you nothing, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
You are nothing. Mm-hmm.
Bubbly.
Bubbly. Bubbly. Bubbly.
Ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Airhead.
Keep going.
4 eyes.
As mentioned this morning. 4 eyes.
A spaz.
Say again.
A spaz.
Spaz. A spaz. S-P-A-Z. Yeah. Spaz. Like you're spastic. I didn't say spaz. Spaz. S-P-A-Z.
Spaz. Got it. Oh.
That was your word.
Spaz. Thank you. Thank you. Spaz. All right, keep on. Actually, these are more kind words than you probably heard too. Am I right, people? I'm going to throw a couple on here, but I'm going to use some asterisks, okay? Like that. Somebody wrote something on the bathroom wall about me. That word there.
Weak.
Mean.
Loser. Mean. was that? Arrogant. Big words, huh?
We need to pick this up.
We are.
Snobby.
All right. So friends, imagine yourself as a high school student or even, young adult here, and this is what you've been told you are. You okay with that? Right? But this is what we hold on to, isn't it? This is what the world pounds at us. This is what the mean people say. This is what we're told you are. You're fat and you're ugly and you're mean. And that hurts and that sticks to us, right? And we need to let go. We need to release it and remember who created us. God created us. Each and every single one of us. None of this matters, right? But it's been said to us, and it sticks to us. Let's go all the way back to Genesis. I'm going to leave this up here for a moment here. So let's check out what Genesis oh yeah, that's in your way. Let's look through Genesis here, pick up a couple things. So this is the whole creation of everything, right? So God saw that the light was
Good.
and he separated the light from the darkness. He continued to create, and then he said, God called the dry ground land, and the gathered waters he called seas, and God saw that it was
Good.
good. All right. So God made two great lights, the greater light to govern the day, and the lesser light to govern the night. He also made the stars. God set them in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth, to govern the day and the night, and to separate light from darkness, and God saw that it was
Good.
good. So God created the great creatures of the sea and every living thing with which the water teems and that moves about in it, according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was
Good.
good. God made the wild animals according to their kinds, the livestock, and all the creatures that move along the ground according to their kinds. And God saw that it was
Good.
You sensing something here, friends? This was just the preview, though. This was just the opening act. Check out the next verse here. So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them, male and female. He created them. God saw all that he made, and it was very good. Right? You see that? Everything he made was good. Then he got to his best piece, his masterpiece. The thing that he was just waiting for to tie it all together. That's you. And he made it, and he's like, wow, perfect. It is very good. So when these words come along, ignore them. Let them fall off your back. Let them wash away, because that's not where we get our self-worth. We get our self-worth right here. Remembering that God created us just how we are. How tall we are, what we look like, the color of our eyes, the hairs on our head. God has a number. It says it right in there. I know. God knows our name. He's got it written on his palm. He knows us. He loves us. He created us. That's where our self-worth comes from. A short little commercial here I want you to see, and it's based off of a true story. The story goes like this. A couple had a little kid, and they're going to watch a very famous piano player. And this guy is the best of the best. And so they got themselves into the theater. They started walking around. They take their seat. And they look at each other. It's like, where's little Timmy? And they kind of look at each other. Well, I thought you had him. I thought you had him. They lost him. So they start looking around, like, where is he? And the show is about to start. And the curtain opens. Timmy's on stage, sitting at the piano. So you can guess what people thought. Oh, get that kid off the stage. What's he doing here? He's going to screw everything up. Well, just as he begins, starts playing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. That's not what they came. That's not what they paid to see, is it? So they're a little upset. And the piano performer comes out, and he stands behind him, and he reaches around him, and he whispers in his ear, says, keep on playing, keep on playing. And then he starts playing along with him. And it was a beautiful music moment here. So take a look at this commercial.
Where's Tommy?
I thought he was with you.
No.
Jack.
Tommy?
Go get him. from the foundation for a better life.
There it is. They talked all night about that. That was the best thing. Out of that whole concert, that's what they remembered. But just imagine that. Picture that as you and God, where maybe you're doing your thing the best you can. You're playing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star the best you can. And then God comes up behind you and he whispers, just keep being you. Keep doing it. I got you. And then he puts his hand around you and adds to your story. That's what I'm talking about, right? He's with you. He's perfect. He loves it. He says, you're perfect at what you're doing. Keep on doing it. I'm right here with you, and I'm going to keep on playing. And it's a fantastic way to remember what we're about. 1 Thessalonians 5:11 says, therefore, encourage one another and build each other up, just as in fact you are doing. Let me take a look, friends. We've already identified. What is it? And I did this with the youth a couple months ago, and the words were much, much harsher. You guys were kind tonight. They were very harsh. So imagine that, living with this as your self-worth. Right, friends? We need to encourage. We need to say, hey, you're doing a great job. Love what you're doing. Love the way you teach. Love the way you handle that situation. You're fantastic. Keep on doing it. Keep on practicing. You're going to do it. God has made you and you're perfect just the way you are. Right? That's the message we get to share. Encourage somebody this week. You're going to get that opportunity to encourage them and to let them know, to remind them. The world doesn't tell us who we are. God does. Right? John 16:33 says, I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble. But take heart. Forget about it. Forget about it, right? I have overcome the world. We get our self-worth in God. 2 Timothy 1:7. For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power and love and self-discipline. That's God, right? You're perfect. I don't know how many times I can say, you're perfect just the way God made you. Forget about it. Release what people have said. It's not what you are, but God did. God is power and love and self-discipline. You see, friends, it's not who you are, it's whose you are. You are God's, and you are a very good creation. You're perfect. You're His handiwork. He thought of you specially when He created you and said, nailed it. This is the way you're supposed to be. I love it. And you are God's handiwork. Never, ever forget that. So let's bring our friend back out here for a second. And this here. So if we were to help encourage and help identify and help change the self-worth of people, we need to replace all these words with something positive and kind. Something that God might have us do. You with me? You gonna give me some? What is it?
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Loved.
Loved.
Smart.
Smart. Keep them coming. What's that?
Joyful.
Joyful. Keep it coming. You see, we're changing, aren't we?
Kind.
Kind.
Blessed.
Blessed.
Treasured.
Treasured.
Generous.
Say it again.
Generous.
Thank you. Generous. Come on.
Needed.
Needed? Yep.
Important.
Mm-hmm.
Special.
Mm-hmm.
Child of God.
Important.
Talented.
Talented. Mm-hmm. We're getting there, friends. We've almost changed it.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Chosen.
There's another one, though? What was it? Say again.
Worthy.
Worthy. Mm-hmm.
Fun.
Fun. Fun. Couple more. Wonderful.
Friendly.
Friendly.
God's handiwork.
All right, now you're stealing my stuff. God's handiwork. Uh-huh. Faithful. One of a kind. See the difference, friends? See the difference? See how we can help shape people's lives and their worth? Maybe we even need it too, right? When we release what people have said about us. We can release, we can let it go and understand God. I'm all about God. God is who made me. And that's all I need to know. And that's how I can live my life. John 15:15. We sang it earlier. We're going to sing it here in a few minutes again. I no longer call you servants, because a servant does not know his master's business. Instead, I have called you friends. For everything that I learned from my Father, I have made known to you. I have called you friends. How about that? You're going to have an awesome opportunity this week, maybe even tonight, to encourage somebody to lift them up, to help change their self-worth. You can see it in them. When they're walking down the hallway, they got their eyes down, and they're quiet, and they're closed and reserved. Their self-worth is low. They've heard too much of what the world thinks about them, which is all false and not true, right? So we can remind them and encourage them. You see that smile come back on their face. We see their head lift up again and be, come out in a positive manner to be friendly and exciting and love life again. God's got that in you. You're perfect just the way you are. Don't ever forget that. Make sure you tell somebody this week and encourage anyone that you know who's struggling with self-worth, who's self-esteem. You're just perfect. Don't change anything about you. Let's have a word of prayer.